Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Ladies and gentlemen, last time I checked, there are going to be federal elections in 2010. There are going to be at least 9 congressional elections in 2010. So the argument that there are no federal elections in 2010, I believe they're going to be in our congressional district. I bet they'll be in yours too. There'll be federal elections. And you know, by the way, last year, every one of us voted for it to implement this in 2010. This isn't like we're ratcheting this thing back. This amendment just preserves what every one of us voted for last year. That's what it does. It's not like we're suddenly jerking the timetable up. We're just saying we're not going to push the timetable off. That's what this amendment does. This amendment says we'll do in 2010 what we said we were going to do in terms of making a paper verifiable trail. Now, it does give additional room and flexibility, so it doesn't have to be necessarily the 2005 standards. It can be the 2002 standards, like 25 states already do. The issue, ladies and gentlemen, is whether you're going to have any verification. Hear me clearly on this. You won't know who got elected. Not a one of us will know who got elected, not who really was voted for, if you don't have some paper verification. That's what, I mean, don't take my word for it. Take the researchers at Carnegie Mellon or Princeton or the University of Connecticut or the folks in New York. Take the word of Tasser. Take the studies that were done all over this country. Take the computer scientists who wrote you a letter that Senator Finney distributed is on your desk, including people from IBM and Stanford and other places. I'm not telling you, you don't have to take my word for it. Take the word of the scientists and take the word of the journalists who've shown you already how these elections have been unreliable. How'd you like to be that guy who was getting beat 10-1 by a newcomer, and if they hadn't had paper verification, you'd just been beat? Let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, hear it clearly. You can put this off to 2012, and for those of us up in 2012, that may not be a problem, but in 2010, the half of us in this chamber that are up in 2010, we're not going to know. And how are you going to feel on the day after if you find out you lost one you really thought you won? How are you going to feel if you're like some of us in this room and you wonder what really went on? The scientists say, the people that have studied it say, these things can be hacked at the factory, after the factory, while they're on sleepovers, during the election and after the election, ladies and gentlemen. You don't have to take my word for it. All you have to do is just read. That's why every one of us in this chamber last year voted to require this in 2010. Now, the legislation clearly says, Amendment number 5 says, that we'll pay for it. The state will pay for it. So if you're worried about an unfunded mandate, we can take care of that. And there's $34 million sitting right now that can be used. Ladies and gentlemen, I would respectfully suggest to you that the most important thing we can do in terms of this state is to hold on to the confidence of people that when they cast a ballot, that it's not like it is in Iraq or Iran. That the most important thing we can do is to make sure that people, when they know they've cast a vote, that their vote counts. It's the basis of democracy. It's fundamental whether you're a D or an R or none of the above. And I would respectfully ask that you not lay on the table a common sense, middle ground approach that says, okay, we'll give the State Election Commission, we'll give them room to work, and we can do what 33 other states have done and what 2 counties in Tennessee have done. I'd respectfully ask you to vote no on the tabling motion.
Parliamentary situation.